Like, how am I feeling? Pulse check. I'm feeling in a void space. I feel like the energy of like what's next. It's a transition for sure. I feel like I'm in a transition period, or that's the feel that I'm feeling right now. So this could be a collective energy. This is also full moon energy. So it's very like up in the air. Everything's up in the air. It's how I feel. So let's see what Spirit has to say for us for what we need to know. What do we need to know on this full moon, right? Okay. Okay. We got Make a Plan coming out. Let's see. Become a clear channel, okay? It's too many. Just one, please. Just one more. They gave me like 5. Okay. So the first 2 was Make a Plan and Become a Clear Channel. So we have those 2 coming out. At the bottom of the deck, we have Claim Your Art. So whatever it is that you're doing, and then we have Be Patient at the top of the deck. So this is about, again, this transition. I think because there is a transition happening collectively, like the energy, the shift, it requires you to get clear about what it is that you want, and it requires you to be the conduit and allow things to flow through you. This is the energy of like really, there's like an ebb and flow. So this is like really making a plan, not necessarily, I mean, take action, but this isn't really like a take action. This is really like getting clear. This is the energy of getting clear. Like there could be small steps that you may need to take, but this is really about getting clear about what you want and allowing the energy of transition to flow through you according to what it is that you want. Because I asked for one more card and I got 5. So, and then, 5 into the 2 cards I got here was like 7. So 7 might be the energy, and that's like Chariot and just like go time energy. It's like movement. So there's movement happening, I feel, because you have express your joy, choose your friends wisely, or choose friends wisely, make no judgments, change tracks, and build on solid ground. And so I think, and I'm feeling basically that it's really about a transitional period where now you're changing the tune of whatever it is that you were doing or whatever it is that you did want, because maybe you're just in a different space where you don't, it's like you don't, not you don't like, it's not aligned. Where you were or what you were doing is not aligned with where you want to go. And so you're trying to make decisions without making the judgment on why you're making the decision. It's trying to take the judgment out, take the criticism out, and put the curiosity in. And so I feel like with that, it's really about choosing your circles, choosing your circle correctly, choosing your social group. Does your group uplift you? Are they on the same wavelength? Do they hold you back in some way? Do they make you second guess your opinions or your thoughts or whatever? This is really about that, but keeping joy at the forefront, especially with Make a Plan. Make a plan that's joyful to you, right? So that's the energy that I feel. I feel like it's just really about building, again, on that solid ground. Like the solid ground is what makes you happy. The solid ground is your joy, not necessarily the constructs of what is expected of you. And so if that's an art form, this could be how you're living. Maybe you are an artist, or maybe it doesn't have to be. You could be a musician. It could be just how you do things, because we are all artistic in our expression, however that is, so whether it's you're a writer or you are just bold and have a lot of, you're just an expressive person, like whatever that art form of who you are is, you expound and build off that. And then you kind of like fine tune who you are according to that, because that is like That's you becoming that clear channel. That's you allowing your expression to flow through you and not necessarily feeling like you have to mitigate how you are or worry about what it looks like to someone else, if that makes sense. So that's the energy that I feel. And I actually feel that heavily. I feel it in my own world, but I also feel it like collectively, like on a larger scale, where there's a newness coming in. It's things are not carved in stone yet, but there's a lot of movement like behind the scenes of it's what I'm feeling. It's like a lot of shifts are happening. So just go with the shifts. All right, let's see. What else do we need to know for today? So as y'all know, I'm going to get all the cards and then look at the energy, and then we'll go through the cards individually. What is it that we need to know? We got the 10 of Pentacles coming out as our overall like message. So we got the Knight of Swords coming out. Okay. Temperance. Oh boy, this Temperance card likes it's the energy of being patient, I swear. It's coming. Okay. That is the current energy. Wow. Interaction. So I'm using a different deck because the last couple of reads I was doing another deck and I just felt like maybe I needed to switch the deck up because I always tend to get the same energy no matter what decks I use. What's the advice? Overall advice. Overall advice. All right. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. All right. Okay. So this energy is kind of like what I just said. So basically with this 10 of Pentacles here, this is like building on solid ground. You are focusing on your stability, your finances, your family life. It's really putting everything all together to give you this affluent lifestyle that you want. Like this is, sorry, the sirens are loud. I'm just gonna let it pass because it's loud. But maybe that's confirmation. So basically this is the energy. It's like this is the overall, this is what you're working towards, this is what's on the horizon. Now how people are viewing you is they're viewing you as the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So the Knight of Swords in the reverse is like someone who could be impulsive. Knight of Swords can be like quick changes, quick things. So you may be seen as doing things differently, quickly, like going against the grain, being maybe impulsive in what you say or how you say it, the element of surprise, sometimes just saying what comes out, you know. It doesn't always have to be negative, and I don't feel it to be negative. I just feel it to be spontaneous and like an impulsive, just going with it. Because so this is how you should respond, is the Temperance. So it's almost like think before you speak. It's almost like that, have patience, like practice intentional speaking. What is the, like, are you speaking to be heard? Are you speaking to have a message? Are you adding input just to do it? Or is there a reason behind it? It's like getting clear on it. And I think that ties, and I feel like it ties more into this, build your solid ground, because when you're building a solid ground and you are being expressive, right? Because you have that Knight of Swords there, which swords are all about communication. So you want to be mindful of like, am I just talking just to talk? And I feel like the energy is that you just are saying things. Like you're just impulsively, like you think something, you say something, and that's how you're being viewed. But also you're making these fast, quick movements and changes in your world too, that it's kind of hard to gauge, like where it's coming from is what I'm feeling. But with the Temperance card is like how you should respond is basically by tempering that impulsivity. Sometimes you don't have to say everything that you're doing. There's an art to how you can come off or how you can showcase what you're doing without, it's like I'm getting the energy of like a fine line between boasting or bragging and sharing. And to the right or wrong people, depending on how you look at it, it's going to look differently. Like, for example, if someone is not in a space of elevating themselves, maybe you sharing your accomplishments may come off as you bragging. But if somebody's attuned or aligned with what you're doing, it may come off as motivation, like, oh shoot, that happened to me too. It just depends. So with the Temperance card, it's like, be mindful of your audience, of what you share with your audience, because not everybody who's on the sidelines is cheering for you, especially when they're looking at you as the Knight of Swords. It's like, oh, they're just bragging. They're just showboating what they have. And so that's where your discernment is going to have to come in, especially when you're working on the 10 of Pentacles, because it can fuel a lot of jealousy in people, and you don't want other people's energy to infiltrate what you have going on. You don't want that to, so just be mindful. What's coming to you is the Hanged Woman. So this is about pause energy, right? You see she's like upside down. She's like, wait a minute. She's taking a pause. And again, you have this change tracks. And then you also have choose friends wisely. So it could be like their social group. If they feel like she's boasting or bragging about whatever, this is taking stock and just, wait a minute. There may be a pause, and that pause may be there for you to change the tracks, to know which track to change to know which direction to move in. What intentionally do you want to do to get you to this 10 of Pentacles, right? And it's looking at things differently, because so maybe there were surprise elements in your world that have changed or that shifted and it was sudden. If that were the case, then it would require you to take a pause, right? It would require you to figure out what it is that you want to do and figure out what direction you want to move in. But what's hidden from you is the Six of Wands. So whatever it is that you're going to do, taking your full authentic self and infiltrating joy in there and having a plan for what you're going to do is going to institute the success. So what you're working toward is going to be successful. You just don't see it right now because you're in the thick of the transition. And usually in transitions, things are up in the air. You see this Temperance? Things are up in the air. So it's not like it's settled. The dust has settled. The road is clear. It's not quite clear yet because it's still being formed, and you're part of the formation. It's like you're co-creating right now with the universe, with spirit, God, whatever divinity that you believe in. It's your co-conspiracy time at this time. So because of that, it actually helps to be clear, make the plan. Be a clear channel and see what comes through you, what funnels through you, what feels right, what feels of the path, like the path of least resistance, what feels more at ease. That is the energy. So when it comes to your current energy, you have the 10 of Cups. So you got double 10s here. So you're ending a cycle and moving into a new cycle. And this is great because this is like your emotional fulfillment. You're on the road to this, even though you don't see how it's going to get there. You have to make a plan. You have to be a clear channel to allow it to funnel through you. Looking at things from a different perspective is going to lead you here, which is going to make you successful in getting here. So it's really about, what do you want? What fuels you? What's going to light you up? What's going to give you the most emotional fulfillment? Sometimes changes happen and they are devastating because we are not in control of the change. But if you sat just to look at the facts, did you want that very thing that you were holding on to? Look at why you are wanting to hold on to it. Because your why for why you're wanting to hold on to something is going to be the reason or the root of how you're going to pivot and what direction you're going to move in. If you're holding on to something because it's something that you love, then there will be avenues of more of it. But if you are holding on to something that you just have, or you're holding on to something tightly because it's routine or because it's familiar, then you have to assess, is there happiness there or is there routine there? Because sometimes when we're not in control of the change, it's very difficult for us to move forward through the change because it's disrupting our pattern. But sometimes you have to disrupt the pattern in order to get where you're going, in order to get where you want to be, so you have to disrupt the pattern to get to the purpose. I hope that makes sense. So for your action is to be strong through it. You have the Strength card. This is allowing things to come and again, letting it flow through you. Looking at it differently, approach it with curiosity. What does this mean now for me? Why is this happening now? So this is really about getting clear about your now and being brave enough to walk through it and to make a choice of what it is that you want. For your overall advice, it's Three of Pentacles. So whatever it is that you're going through in this space of this transition, it's going to work out. It's going to give you a lot of collaborative approaches. And in one of the other readings, the triangle was pretty significant. I'm getting this trine each time, for this week. It's been really like life, liberty, and love, or life, love, and liberty. It's like this trine of what's coming together. It's all going to come together, but this is just time for you to refine and fine tune what you want, where you want to go, how you want to get there. Even if you don't know the big picture, break it up in smaller subsets. You have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and then you also have the Moon. So there are two unknowns working at play, and there's more hidden beneath the surface, So the Seven of Swords sometimes gets a bad rap because it's always deemed as something sneaky happening, or someone be evading the truth of some sort. But there's also an alternative meaning to the Seven of Swords. And in the traditional, they're telling me to show you, and I'll show you. In the traditional tarot deck, it's like someone is stealing swords. They really want me to show you what it looks like. Some of you probably know what it looks like already, but if you're new to tarot, you may not. So, in the back of the deck. Okay, I'm like, well, where is it? I'm like, where is it? Tell me where it is then. Because I don't want to go through the whole deck to look for it. I don't see it in the... maybe I'm not looking. Okay. Oh, it is in the back of the deck. They were right. Okay, my bad. So this is what it looks like. So this is at the back of the deck, and I was like, I don't see it. It was there. Okay, so this is what it originally looks like. This is what this one looks like. But the yellow in any tarot is always a positive sign. And so even though this gets a bad rap for having someone steal, the history of this person stealing the swords is really because they were trying to avoid conflict. So you can't fight if you ain't got no swords to fight with. So they were trying to use an alternative way to get to a peaceful result. Now, the method may not have been the most noble. So in this instance, I definitely feel like there's something on the horizon. There's an alternative way to get to where you're going, because you also have the Judgment card showing up. So it's like there's an alternative way that's going to put you on the path, change tracks, right, to your destiny, or where you're trying to go, or what you want, or what feels more fulfilling to you. And with the moon here, especially on a full moon, it's like indicating to me what I feel is like now there's this transition happening. There's an alternate or an alternative way of doing something that's kind of in motion right now. So there is that. Let's see I want to clarify these cards so we can get more insight to see what's going on. There may be an opportunity for like an unexpected job offer too. Like I feel if someone was looking for a job or looking for a job offer or what, I just get this energy of like a new opportunity coming in related to like a job offer. All right, let's see here. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Here we go with the same energy. So we got the Hangman coming out. We got the Hangman and the Hangwoman, right? And we got the Moon. So this is about taking that pause, letting things come to you, reassessing, being receptive to what comes to you in this pause space. Sometimes when we have sudden change happening, because you have this sun right after the, look at this, like, look at this. I get so excited, y'all. Y'all know I do. So we've got the Sun card coming out after with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So it's like, I'm hearing the sun will come out tomorrow. I don't know if y'all know that song. I'm not going to sing it for y'all. But that's what I'm hearing. And it's like, basically, even though you're in a space of the unknown, there is better days coming ahead. It's like this pause period, there's purpose in pause. So allow the purpose to infiltrate through you, become a clear channel, so that you can actually receive the message that you're supposed to receive for the next step. Because then you have the Ace of Cups and the Judgment. So it's going to be more fulfilling and more aligned and attuned to what it is that you truly love and what lights you up. But you have to let it come to you. Let it come to you, right? Instead of chase. And maybe the change tracks is like, instead of you always being the one chasing the thing, chasing the bag, chasing the opportunity, being the go-getter, why don't you let the getting come to you, right? Why don't you let the opportunities come funneled to you? Because then that is something that it's a different way of doing things. It might be the path of less resistance, right? But it also might be more fulfilling, more rewarding. Clarify this Knight of Swords in the reverse. Why is it in the reverse? Okay, so we've got the Eight of Wands coming out with the Queen of Pentacles. Again, it's like you talking about the things that you are doing. You're nurturing, you're loving this, you're loving what you do, whatever it is, like whatever this idea or thought or whatever it is, it's just the energy of like people feeling like all the opportunities are coming to you, you know, or there's this rebirth energy of like you're doing things differently, you're speaking differently, you're moving differently, and it can probably throw people off a little bit when it comes to like what you're sharing or how you're sharing it. Give me one more for the Eight of Wands, because a lot of changes are happening for you, but it does throw people off with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. It's like this energy of like, just be mindful of what you share, because you don't want other people's energy to infiltrate what you have in motion. That's what I'm getting, because you're putting in this hard work, and sometimes people have energy attached to things not even knowingly. Like they don't always know or feel like, I don't want this person to win. It may just be like, damn, why can't I do X? It may just be a projection of them feeling a certain way about themselves, but it gets attached to the idea or the energy of something that you already have in motion. So sometimes working in silence is not always a bad thing, or that you're trying to hide something from people. It could just be that you're trying to be protective of what you have in motion. Kind of like in a pregnancy. Most moms, the first trimester, they don't say, hey, I'm pregnant as soon as they pee on the stick, right? They wait until they have that period, that safe period where it's like, okay, now you can say what you got going on. And at the top of the deck, we have the Chariot. And I think I mentioned the Chariot earlier. It's like, there's this go energy. It's like, but with the Chariot, you have to be mindful, because there are two directions you can go in. And so again, this is about taking that pause to figure out which direction do you want to move in? What is the plan? and being a clear vessel and a clear channel to allow the energy to guide you rather than you go and get. Clarify the Hanged Woman. Okay, so I wanted the Hanged Woman, but they want this for the Temperance. So the Temperance, I said, remember, things are up in the air. And how you should respond is, so you got the Six of Cups coming out, but they want this for the Temperance. They're saying this is the Temperance. And you have the Nine of Cups and the Justice here. And the Six of Wands. So, and the King of Pentacles coming out. I feel like, because the Temperance is how you should respond to how people are viewing you. And this is like, take your time, right? Because there's a lot of pause energy with the Hanged Woman, the Hangman, the Moon, Temperance. It's like just pause. I feel like with this Six of Cups for the Temperance, I feel this energy of just, I feel like this is like revisiting something from your past. I get a revisit from your past type of energy. Like there could be someone who comes in from your past who wants to communicate with you, but I also just feel like, which could be shaking things up, right, with the Temperance card. So it may be that you need to, it could be a friend, doesn't have to be an ex, but just think about how you respond to that person. With the Nine of Cups, I just get free flowing energy. You could revisit a thing that you like from the past. Like maybe, for example, I just feel this revisiting something from the past, especially because it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a hobby. It could be a thing. It could be something that you used to do. So that's why I'm saying, like with the Temperance here, as how you should respond to how people are seeing you. It's almost like, okay, if you, for example, if, for example, how you moved all the time was whenever you were starting something new, you kept it under wraps for a while. And then when it was all done, then you announced it. Let's say now you're in a space where you get so excited, you just, this is what I'm doing, or, oh my gosh, because things are happening. It's almost like, go back to that. Go back to what, there's some aspect of your past, whether it's a practice, a pattern, that it's like revisit that and reinstitute that for your happiness, because of the fact that things are not always going to, because people's energy can infiltrate what you have going on. So in order for that success to happen, and you do have that King of Pentacles here, and you have a King and Queen of Pentacles matching. So it's just like, everything from your past obviously is in your past for a reason, but there are some things in your past that could be beneficial for the now, is what I'm feeling. Especially because it's clarifying that Temperance. So it's like, also temper yourself too, have patience with yourself as you're navigating new space, because this is like integration energy, because you're really in a space of like taking some of the old, merging it with the new, and becoming this emerged, newer version of you. Whatever that is, that's more aligned and attuned with who you are truly, authentically, at a fundamental level. So it requires shedding some old stuff, but also taking some old stuff. You want to take some of the lessons, right? You want to take, because you don't want to repeat them things. So it's like just tempering yourself. So if there's something that you used to do that brought you joy, if there's something that you used to do because you have the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups showing up, it's like, go back to that. Because you'll get lost in it enough where you won't feel compelled with the Page of Swords of people gossiping about how you're doing what you're doing. You'll be so engrossed in what you're doing that you won't have time to announce, hey, you know, it'll be after the fact in a protective space or a protective energy already. So that's what I'm getting with that. Clarify, can you give me one more for the Six of Cups? Yeah. There's opportunities with the Four of Cups. So it's like after a fed up period of things not working out right, you're doing things in a different way, but there are some practices that you still need to institute to protect these opportunities that are coming in, because you don't want to get disappointed and, you know, lose out on the opportunity because someone attached a negative energy to something and it didn't have the impact that it could have had it been protected in the space of like it being formed. I hope that makes sense. So what is, clarify the Hanged Woman? What's the Hanged Woman about, please? Oh, we're doing this again. This falling. Yeah, so you got the Ten of Wands coming out for the Hanged Woman. So yeah, if you're with the Knight of Swords coming up in the upright, so, but you have the Ten of Pentacles. Look at this. Same exact energy. This is what's coming to you. So you're going to have a lot of hard work in the beginning. So that's why it's like there's this pause, building on solid ground. What is it that you want? Make the plan and then start doing it. It is going to be a lot of work on the front end, but on the back end, it's going to yield very quick results that are going to be both emotionally fulfilling and very prosperous. And again, this is what you're working on with the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. So it's like you're on the right road. It just, it's like we're giving me like a dirt road, but you know, in the dirt road, sometimes if you're driving fast, it's really dusty, so you really can't see always the way, but you're on the right road. So it's like, slow down. You know you're on the right road. You don't need to speed on this road. It's just you, really, because you're on the road that's less traveled because it's a lot of freaking work. So just take your time. Pause. Wait for the dust to settle a little bit so you can at least see a little bit, you know. That's the energy that I'm feeling right now. And you don't want to make judgments on people who are gossiping or saying things, because honestly, again, there's some people that it just comes off a certain way. And sometimes people don't even realize what they're doing, right? They don't know that they're attaching, because you have this again. They don't know that they're attaching their projections onto what you got going on. It's more like, why can't I do this? How is this person doing that? Or maybe I should be doing that, you know? So just be mindful that it's not necessarily a personal, like someone is intentionally trying to steer you down the beaten path or steer you in the wrong direction. It's not that. It's just they may not realize that, hey, they're projecting an insecurity that they have onto what you've got going on. Clarify the Six of Wands, please. Give me one more. All right. Okay. This is what's hidden from you. You've got the Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups in the reverse. And then you have the Three of Cups showing up at the bottom of the deck. And the Lover's card at the top of the deck. So, someone that you could have separated from may see you as being very successful. They may see you as somebody who kind of has it all, is what I'm feeling. But you have the Queen of Swords here in the reverse, so they feel kind of like kind of erratic, disorganized. I feel like there's somebody who wants to say something to you, but they don't know what to say. And it's someone that you may have separated from, because it's almost like you separated yourself from this person and now you seem like you're more liberated. It's like the energy that I feel is like, oh, and they're looking like, like there's this, like, there's an energy of like them feeling like you left and now you're free. Like an imprisonment almost, like they felt like maybe they was imprisoning you, but you just, it's like you left, you separated this from this person and you're doing well, and they just didn't expect you to do, they didn't expect you to not do well, but they didn't expect you to do as well or to seem unbothered. I think that's what it is. It's like the fact that you seem unbothered, and I do feel like they do want to talk to you, but they don't know what to say. Give me one more for the Queen of Swords. Why is Queen of Swords? You got the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So they're thinking about what they want to say to you, but they don't know. They're disorganizing their thoughts. They don't even feel confident enough to like fight for the connection, because you are elevating at this frequency that is just strong and admitting like, you're good, you know? So because under the King of Swords, you have the Empress and then the World card. So they just feel like there's a defeated energy here. I'm not going to lie. It's like they want to come forward, but they are feeling defeated, especially because they feel intimidated by your energy. It's not even like, it may be your status, but it's not. It's just the fact that you're in the light right now. Clarify the Ten of Cups. Wow. So we got the Four of Wands. Things are coming together, okay? You're going to have a lot of things to celebrate, especially this cycle. Like this chapter, this next wave, it's going to be really good, really successful, really like fulfilling. It's like the more you look for your fulfillment, the more the prosperity will follow. Clarify the Strength. This Page of Swords, someone is watching you heavy, and then guess what came out the deck? The Emperor. So there's a lot of people watching you right now. I just feel like you're being watched, girl, boy, whoever. I'm like, girl, whoever's watching. I just feel like you're being watched. I think with this, with the Emperor card, with this Four of Swords, this is like really, again, making that plan, being a clear vessel, and making sure that you're clear about what it is that you want, especially because you are in a space where now your plans are going to be ground into reality. So you want to make sure that you're making a plan that's going to fulfill your needs in terms of fulfillment, in terms of what you want. It's getting really clear and making a plan. The Emperor is someone who is they're like boss, like, you know, this is like all the kings put together. And the Emperor is someone who is very clear about what they want. They make a plan, they go after it. They are very goal driven. And so with making a plan, changing the tracks, and building on solid ground, you have to get clear. Allow that intuition and allow your intuitive guidance to lead you. Maybe you're in more meditative states lately. This is clarifying your strength. So this is having the strength to be able to take that pause to get the information, because you have to be in receptivity mode in order to make the plan, but it requires a pause. And so you have like a lot of cards that indicate pause. You've got the Hangman twice, Hangwoman, Hangman. You've got the Four of Swords coming out, you know, which is all about the pause. You've got this Moon energy here, which is all about the unknown, but things are coming to light, and they will come to light on your next steps, but it requires you to just take a step back to figure out how you're going to move forward. Sometimes you got to take a step back to step forward, and it sounds crazy, but it's necessary. Clarify the Three of Pentacles. So you got the Fool card coming out, and look at, you got the Knight of Cups and the Two of Swords. So this is just telling me that there is a lot of collaborative energy that's coming together for you with this undiscovered lands. The Two of Swords is like an exciting card. It feels another pause, feels stagnant, feels like, what the heck am I going to do next? But at the end of the day, it's actually really something that is going to be beneficial, because you've got the Fool here. This is like taking that leap of faith, taking that first leap of whatever into the unknown. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to show up. I don't know how it's going to come together, because there's going to be this opportunity that comes out of the blue that's aligned to you, you know, aligned to what you want, aligned to your goals. So this energy is really about shifting gears, pivoting on purpose with pause, right? Because you're moving into a space that's a little bit more, or a lot more, aligned to what you want to do and what you feel called to do. So let's just get some final messages here. Resistance at the bottom of the deck, right? We were talking about the path of least resistance. Surrender and pleasure, right? What fills you up? What makes you feel good? Joy. Etheric cords at the bottom. So this is all about, you have your joy here, you have pleasure coming through, and then you have surrender. And at the bottom of the deck, you're cutting cords based on the seasons, right? This is a season of letting go of things that are not in alignment. This is also, look at this with the radical rebirth. You're in the position, and you're in that space of change. And change is not always easy when we're not in control of it. And so this is a really good time to assess why you're holding on to something that may not be aligned with you, because maybe you're holding on to the routine. And if you're holding on to the routine of something, guess what? Routines can be applied to new lifestyles. Routines can be modified according to what we want. It's just a tweak. It's a modification. So, you know, it's getting clear and looking at things from a different perspective. Final messages, please. I'll close the reading. All right. Don't let people suck the air out of your spirit. And remember, I was saying that with the people energy, like people might attach a negative energy unknowingly. Some people could do it intentionally, but they could do it unknowingly, right? So this is why this is going back to that, like keeping your plans private until they have entered that protective, you know, out of that protective stage where they can be birthed into the world. Remember, you came here to teach others. This is all about being that clear vessel, right? That channel of doing the things, but being mindful of your energy and your space, letting things flow through you. How can people learn through you and flow through you? So you're here to teach other people maybe how to do it. You have a detour is available to you right now that can be a benefit. So again, this is that change tracks energy. That really is just like, okay, we're going to move into a different direction. And then at the top of the deck, you have, it's okay not to have all the answers. They will come to you when you need them. And this is going into that reflective and meditative state so that you can actually receive what you need to receive in order to move to the next level. So it's not a race. It's actually a germinating space for you to actually get clear about your plans and be that vessel of openness so that you can receive what you're meant to receive, so that you can actually move in the way that's more fulfilling to you. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope it resonated with someone too. But I will see y'all in the next one.